Mixed Media Scrabble Heart. For this project, you'll have a piece of watercolor paper, a mixing tray, some watercolors, a brush, and a cup of water. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to put just drops of water on the 3 colors that you're planning to do. Your 3 colors should be right next to each other because they would be right next to each other on the color wheel. Remember, don't use the brown or the black because they're not on the color wheel. Now, I keep adding water so it gets really, really watery. And then in just a little bit, I'm going to start mixing colors together on the little mixing tray. So here you see that I'm adding some green, and I'm just getting my brush really, really wet, and then I'm adding a little bit of blue, just a couple drops, and then I'm mixing it together so I can make a blue-green. Then I'm going to choose some more blue, but I'm going to put it in a different spot. So maybe I do, 3 or 4 or 5 little drops from the blue, and then I rinse off my brush again. And now I'm going to grab from purple because this time I'm going to make blue-violet. I'm going to keep mixing like this until I have a couple different varieties of different colors that I can add to my watercolor paper in just a second. Remember, only use the same 3 colors. Okay, now I'm going to actually start painting on my paper. You can do it however you want. Just experiment with the different ways that you can do it. I have 3 colors on my paint palette and 4 other colors that I made, and I can use any of those 7 colors. I can put them in any way I want. I could make stripes, but I just decided I was going to kind of do them in blobs. So you'll watch as I just add different colors, and I'm trying to make it have some variety. So it'll be a little bit of one color and then another color, but you can do it however you want. Just experiment. When you're all done, you'll carefully carry it to the drying rack on top of the messy mat. Today we will make the heart. You will have a paper, pencil, scissors, paper towel, and 3 colors of oil pastels that are by each other on the color wheel. I chose red, pink, which is a light red, and orange. The first thing you're going to do is to make the heart. First, you will fold the paper in half. And then we're going to draw half of a heart on your paper. So I'm starting it right here. I want you to make sure it's on the fold part, and then you will make half of a heart. Some kids like to put their hand down in an angle like that to help them draw the heart. Now you'll cut out the heart. Make sure you're holding both of the papers together, or both sides, because you want this heart to look symmetric when it opens up. Now place your heart on your watercolor paper. Don't glue it, but just look. I'm looking at this one and I don't think I have enough room for any letters to go around it. So here's what I'm gonna do to fix that. I'm making a line a little bit closer in so I can make it a little bit smaller. So here's my new smaller one. And now I'm gonna test it on the watercolor paper. Yeah, that looks better. So now we're going to actually use the oil pastels. You'll want to make sure that you have a paper towel. We use this paper towel to clean the oil pastels. So I like to hold it in my hand and then twist the oil pastel, kind of like I'm sharpening it. And if I twist it enough and then I look at it, look, it got all the other yucky stuff off the tip. Now I can use it on my heart. Okay, so experiment with these oil pastels however you want. I decided to just kind of do some blobs of different colors, and then I was just gonna mix them all together. But if you'll notice later, after I clean them and then use these, that I decided to do kind of blobs on one side and circles on the other, and you can always peel a tiny bit of the paper off if it's in your way, and just kind of carefully take that off. Try not to take the whole paper off though, because when you do that, then when you hold it and it has no paper on it at all, then it gets all in your fingerprints and it's hard to get off. So you can see I'm just kind of making blobs. Now I got my pink one, gonna clean it off a little bit, add some more on. Now I'm trying to blend them together. So if you notice, I put my paper towel under my finger. I'm kind of pulling it along, like from the top to the bottom. This is just how I chose to do it. And so you can see they kind of blend together. You don't have to blend them if you don't want to, but this is how I wanted to do it. Okay, so here's mine all done. You can see I kind of did blobs on the right and I did circles on the left. And you can do it however you want. Just experiment with the oil pastels and have fun with it. You're going to take your black oil pastel and you're just going to go on the edges. This is super important to do on top of a messy mat because it's kind of easy to get off of the edge here. So I'm just going through and doing a light edge all the way around. This is what it looked like when it had all of the black edges on it. And now I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm just going to blend that edge a little bit. It just adds a little bit more interest to my heart. Now it's time to glue your heart onto your watercolor paper. So I started to make just a line, like a inside frame, but then I thought, well, some kids will make dots. So I showed you both different ways you can do it, and then you just glue it to the middle. The next step is to add words. So you'll get a paper like this, and then you can cut out the letters to make words. Make sure that I check your word before you glue it on so we can make sure it's spelled correctly. So I wrote the word creative and thoughtful. But then if you notice on this, I added the word kind because it just looked like it needed one more word. The last step is to add glitter and sign your name. Next, I'll bring around a bottle of gloss medium. This is stuff that kind of looks like glue, but it will go on really thick. So you're going to take your glue brush and you're going to use the glue brush to move this gloss medium all over your paper. So you're going to cover every single part, even the heart, and you're going to go all over it. You can even just do like half of it first if you want and add some sprinkles and then do the other half, or you can just do the whole thing. With your finger, you'll get a little pinch of glitter and you can just sprinkle it on wherever you want it to go. When you're all done, you'll keep it on the messy mat and you will put it on the drying rack so that it can dry. And then you're going to have this gorgeous piece of artwork. So, so pretty.